After Twisted Metal Head-On came out, there's been radio silence until 2012's release, Twisted Metal on the PlayStation 3. This will be the only game to be on the PS3 as well, which is pretty strange. As a matter of fact, the last in the series at the time of this recording as well. Well, the game retains its core gameplay. It feels a little slower, but not bad. But anyways, this game has 3 campaigns. Yeah, 3 campaigns over opposed of any other characters. And one of them is Sweet Tooth, where you can start. Again, there's only 3 characters you can start with the story mode, which was heavily criticized. The director of the game actually put the blame on YouTube because people have been uploading cutscenes. You know, this is funny, because years later, Nintendo made the same exact excuse when it came to Smash Bros. On both Wii U and 3DS. But there is online play, and as of late, the fan community of the entirety are actually bringing it back online, which is nice. But anyways, Sweet Tooth is chasing down his family member and he wants to kill the person. But something else happened, so I can't tell you anything happened. So he had to go chase down the goal at Callisto just to try to grant the wish. But anyways, just like the previous 2 games, this does feature some boss fights. And they can be pretty crazy. Like a giant monster truck, for example. This is the first time since Twisted Metal 4 where they will have licensed music. Yes, they brought back licensed music this time. But look, not all of its music is licensed. There's some licensed, and there's some there's not. Now, there are some returning characters and some new characters that you guys can play as, like Sweet Tooth, Outlaw, and plenty more other people. So yeah, this will be the only game in the series that came out on the PS3, and the PS3 only. It never went to anything else. You know what I even find funny too? Because this is the second game in the series to have a reboot, and the first one to have the reboot was Black. I think it's just because 3 and 4 were a little bit of a mess. And there was another game that came out at the same time, but on the PS1, which we don't talk about that game. Now, this will have some new tracks for you guys to play around. Some people are fans of it, some people aren't, but it really depends of like what your taste of. Because there are some places that takes place in cities and some random places. But that's you. You guys can decide whether or not if you guys like those tracks or whatever. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Remember every game, their own character have their own specific vehicles? Well, let me just ask you guys something. How do you guys like it if we change the formula a little bit? So, in terms of lives, if you die, you can switch to another vehicle that thus has nothing to do with the character you're playing as. That's right. If you guys play as Sweet Tooth, if you like the ice cream truck, you can do that. But you can also select other vehicles like Outlaw's vehicle or anything else like that. I feel like it's out of character, but at the same time, it can be a bit creative. But that's just on your taste. But you can do whatever you guys want when it comes to vehicle selections. Again, you can actually go up to different vehicles for each character. Doesn't really matter who you play as. It's more like what vehicle is the key to victory. So if all your vehicles are dead, that means you lost the game. I'll just say this. This is actually the first game in the series that I played and got into with Twisted Metal itself. I don't know why they made the decision this way as to like, you play as a character, but you can choose any vehicle you want. It's not a bad thing, but it's just weird. Even if you go back to playing the older ones, you might question as to like, why did they do that? I'm not sure if it's in the change of direction, but again, the gameplay retains. But you know what is cool about this game though? Although you do play 4-player split screen, you can actually play the game in 16 players online. But again, the online service has been discontinued since 2019. But again, the community is working on bringing them back. I'm not sure if it's back now, but I have heard that it was coming back. Let me know. I haven't kept up with these whole PlayStation 3 online stuff. But when it came to online play, you can actually have a factions match. It's called nuke mode. So you have your own faction against another faction, and each faction has a giant metal statue that's being held in the air by a chopper, which the opposing team must try to destroy. In order to destroy the statues, the player must dump the enemy's team's leader, then sacrifice the team leader to a missile launcher that will launch him to a nuclear missile. Okay, I think I've seen enough of that one. But you get the point. The gameplay retains the same, and it is wacky. And there's also destructible environments involved too, just like some of the previous games that you guys probably have seen. Let me know how you guys feel about this whole vehicle swapping thing. Because, yeah, it could be out of character for the game to do that. And it's in its series entirely. Because we haven't really gotten a new game since then. But as of late, you can play Twisted Metal 1 and 2 on the PS4 and PS5 now. I thought they were going to really add it head-on as a PSP game, but instead they just didn't do that. Well, you could certainly say I have 3 more to discuss, but I really haven't played Small Brawl. I played some of 3, and I have played a little bit of 4, but whenever I get the time and effort to actually talk about those games, then they will actually come out in a later date. But for the time being, I think these are all I'm going to give you guys on my thoughts of these Twisted Metal games. I hope you guys really enjoyed the whole Twisted Metal show, and I will be watching it at some point. Maybe I'll make a video talking about it. It really depends. I'll see you guys then. But go get crazy with some friends and get that Twisted Metal.